Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this meeting of the Council of the Town of Oakville. I invite everyone to rise and join Council in singing "O Canada." Thank you. Please be seated. Next, we'll have our opening prayer and then our moment of silent reflection, and then the meeting will begin. God, grant us understanding and patience that justice, truth, and honesty may be evident in our decisions. Make us mindful of the needs of the people throughout the town of Oakville. Help us govern with the wider community in mind and so create in us a desire for progress and responsible action. We ask this in your name. Amen. Thank you, everyone. I see we have no regrets this evening. Council, do you have any declarations of pecuniary interest? Thank you. I'm now going to move to the part of the agenda where I present the status of the town report, and then we'll do our regular council business. Fellow residents, invited guests, staff, and council, welcome to the 5th annual Status of the Town report. Our path to a more livable and sustainable future is clearer than ever. We have the civic engagement we need for Oakville to make more progress on the path we set out on 5 years ago. We on council can lead, but we work through others. And the work others do is making a difference in our town. Look at the Oakville Community Foundation's grants of more than $1 million last year to community causes from a fund balance of approximately $35 million. Or look at the grants generated by the May Court Club last year of over $288,000. Their donations are the equivalent of having another $10 million endowment in our community for Oakville. The 202 volunteer members of May Court make a difference with their service. Look at the ambitious $4 million target just announced by the Oakville United Way. Clearly, Sheridan Institute President Jeff Zabutsky's leadership style is to inspire us to do more. If we do, our social safety net will be stronger for Oakville. The level of engagement of Oakville residents on civic matters is strong too. We have more residents groups than other places, from neighborhood-based to town-wide. As the great activist and urban planner Jane Jacobs once said, cities have the capability of providing something for everybody, only because and only when they are created by everybody. And we, of course, in Oakville, are a city that calls itself a town and acts like a village. Because we work together in Oakville, it seems at times We are a safe and sunny island in a sometimes savage, stormy sea. That's due, in large part, to the fact that we agree so much on what we're doing together for Oakville. With consultation from all interested parties, Council unanimously approved our next steps ahead on our path to a more livable and sustainable town with our new 4-year strategic work plan. Our first 4-year strategic work plan in 2007 was also unanimous. It put us on the path to success for Oakville. We achieved almost every goal we aimed for in that plan. Now, town staff are fully engaged in translating this new plan into budgets and specific goals for each program and service. More public consultations will take place this month on 3 concerns. Professor Robert Williams of the University of Waterloo is working on improving council representation. On October 18th, he hosts a public meeting on ward sizes and boundaries. On October 24th, we'll start town-wide consultations on a new town protocol on new cell towers. On October 27th, here at Town Hall, we will host a public consultation on excessive motorcycle noise. Our consultative style is one of the reasons our residents have consistently given us high marks for our work. In 2010, voters graded council in the ultimate grading, and all but one incumbent candidate was re-elected. That's a success. Another measure of our success is the 2011 Citizen Survey. The survey said, and I quote, "Oakville residents are clearly satisfied that the town is on the right track in addressing and managing the local issues that they care most about. All of us on council are dedicated to keeping it that way." Our high marks are in part based on how we invest in catching up on civic facilities. Just wait until you see the Queen Elizabeth Park Community and Cultural Center when it opens in January of next year. It will do for arts and culture what North Park and 16 Mile Arena are doing for sports. We heard the needs of our arts and culture community. We acted to put arts and culture on a path of greater creativity and community for Oakville. For Oakville's healthcare to catch up with the 21st century, construction on our new Oakville Hospital has begun. This hospital is the largest hospital build in the province's history. It will be a state-of-the-art facility. We'll have enhanced services for the highest level of care for Oakville. And as we heard only last week, it will be a major economic boost to our local economy. We have more to do for Oakville. We are developing a vision for revitalization of Centennial Square. We are launching Phase 2 of North Park, which will involve a community center and library facility. Many of us are committed to having a 50-meter pool as part of it. Together, I'm sure Council will work hard to try to make that happen. We are working to determine the best use for Oakville of surplus public sites. We seek to control the future of the 5 schools, the old hospital, and the old post office. Over the next 3 years, our public consultations will identify the best outcome for each for Oakville. All of Council agree the disposition of the post office will be a major event in our downtown's history and in its future. I thank each member of Council for advice on the future of the old post office. I'm especially grateful to Councillors Alan Johnston, Ralph Robinson, Roger Lapworth, Keith Bird, Dave Giddings, Jeff Knoll, and Mark Grant for our shared vision. We also are working hard on other town facilities, such as the road renewal program we have adopted and the new trails and bike lanes we're creating at every opportunity. The new bike lanes are already getting raves. Patrina Tulisi wrote to us recently, "I use Royal Windsor to ride my bike in to work in Toronto and home again throughout the year. I would like to thank the town of Oakville for creating this bike lane." The email complimented the special features that make it safer and easier to use. "It's exciting," she said, "to live in a community with forward thinkers." Our forward thinking identified that livability would be our best economic development asset for attracting the new offices and jobs that we want. Executives and leaders of the new businesses we are attracting are telling me that it is our livability that makes them want to locate here, even when it costs more to locate here than other places. They know that their employee attraction and retention are driven by livability, livability, livability. Siemens Canada has broken ground on their new corporate head office for Canada here in Oakville. That's 800 new jobs for Oakville. Our economic development strategy is working. We owe a debt of thanks to Councillor Max Kahn for this success. Councillor Kahn was a keen supporter of Siemens' initiative from the outset. He was instrumental in creating the opportunity. He saw it through to success for Oakville. Siemens has a reputation as outstanding corporate citizens. Already, they are starting to contribute to our future. They recently shared with us their light rapid transit technology. At a future meeting of council, they will share it with everyone. Incorporated into our transportation master plans, their technology would make public transportation world-class for Oakville. The Siemens head office joins new offices by other significant companies: Canadian Tire Financial Services and Javelin Technologies. There will be more. The presence of these dynamic corporations speaks to the winning economic conditions we have created for our town and the robust fiscal health of our town. We are working to assure success at the street level of business too. Our downtown business area is about to enjoy an increase in parking capacity on Lakeshore with our soon-to-be installed solar power pay and display machines. The Kerr business area continues to benefit from its BIA, the town's youngest. And in Bronte, we look forward to an expert panel analysis of ways to improve business conditions there from Dorothy St. George, our Director of Economic Development. The town of Oakville is in a strong and stable financial position. Our credit rating is AAA. Our reserve funds are at historically high levels. Our tax-supported debt is low relative to our capacity. For the 5th year in a row, we've received a clean audit from our auditors. The overall property tax increase for 2011 was 2.6%, which was below inflation. Council is determined to stay within CPI for the future, too. At 0.96, the town's tax rate continues to be one of the lowest in the GTA. Yes, at 0.79, Toronto's is 20% lower. But they enjoy a subsidy from the rest of Halton, Peel, and York that we have been forced to send them ever since 1998. One of the reasons the town is in such good financial shape is Council's adoption 3 years ago of performance-based program budgeting, or PB2. PB2 focuses on programs and services and results instead of departments. It's also called budgeting for outcomes. It's a culture shift. We ask, what are we making happen? How much of it do we need? How much does it cost? How can we do it more effectively and more productively? The 2012 budget and its outcomes will be the subject of our work for the next few months, with completion in the new year. We will continue to create new levels of public engagement under the direction of our budget chair, Councillor Tom Adams. Councillor Adams holds an MBA in finance and worked for a major bank as a senior risk manager. These are good credentials for a budget chief in these times. Council will also keep its focus on controlling Oakville's growth over the next 20 years. It is the immediate goal of Council to complete our catch-up with our growth by updating our master plans. We are beginning a new development charges bylaw study. We will continue to make growth pay for itself to the limit we can. The 1997 Development Charges Act forces a subsidy of developers, unfortunately. Our key growth control tool, our new official plan, Livable Oakville, received Ontario Municipal Board approval in May of this year. OMB approval means that finally we are masters of our own community. We now control growth to our vision. We'll be just as successful with our zoning review. That is the next part of the implementation process of the Livable Oakville official plan. As Oakville grows, albeit at a slower pace than before, Council and town staff recognize that our natural environment and environmental sustainability are fundamental. Council is building on major victories with the implementation of Canada's first health protection air quality bylaw to control harmful particulate matter smaller than 2.5 micron emissions. Our new Do No Harm official plan policies and regulations for assessing infrastructure applications in our town have created a level of protection no other community has. These measures will be our key tools if anything like the 950 megawatt power plant is ever going to come in our direction again. We also are creating an Oakville climate change adaptation plan. Our energy consumption at facilities across the town continues to decline. The Association of Municipalities of Ontario says we were the first community with an energy management plan, and we are doing everything possible to save our 180,000 ash trees from the emerald ash borer to protect our tree canopy. We recognize we will need a replacement strategy too. Earlier this year, Council unanimously asked the provincial government to launch a pilot project within our airshed to reduce air pollution and improve air quality for families. On August 17th, the provincial government made the announcement in Oakville that it would grant the request. Clean air is fundamental to Oakville's livability. It has been a long time since our last smog days. We all want to keep it that way. Our work will continue to create an integrated community sustainability plan for Oakville. The community will be broadly engaged. We will encourage participation and partnership with key stakeholders on environmental issues. We owe a great deal of thanks to Councillor Alan Elgar, the pathfinding founder of Oakville Green, for his constant leadership to create an ICSP for Oakville. There may be challenges ahead. The greatest challenge that I see is to our budget. The question is, will Oakville property taxpayers have to keep subsidizing Toronto to the tune of almost $5 million a year, or will our property taxes be for our own local priorities? There will be a giant hole in our budget if we must continue to subsidize Toronto almost $5 million a year from our total municipal property tax levy of $225 million. We have had a strong and productive working relationship with the MPP who represents most of Oakville. As many know, he was a member of this council for 18 years. No matter who wins the provincial election on Thursday, we can be sure that the outstanding results MPP Kevin Flynn has delivered for Oakville have set an outstanding example to live up to for Oakville, no matter who wins in the election. For our part, we will continue to create efficiencies and productivity across our programs and services wherever we can. We created Service Oakville to make it easier for the public to do business with the town. This streamlining public service to a one-town, one-window framework is being paralleled online with a redesign of the town's website. We will perform in ever more efficient and effective ways. Town staff bring our public policy to life. Theirs are the faces the public sees. They provide the services we all know and appreciate. It is their hard work and dedication that have brought the town recognition in significant awards over the past year. Oakville received the 2011 Pro Excellence in Design Award for the 16 Mile Creek Sports Complex from Parks and Recreation Ontario. The town also won a Youth Friendly Community in Ontario award. We received High Five accreditation from Parks and Recreation Ontario. We salute and thank our Community Services Commission and our Facilities Management Department for these honors. Council adopted a mission statement 5 years ago that concludes with these words: we ensure our staff receives the same level of respect, commitment, and care that they are expected to deliver to the community. You can tell that's happening from the hundreds of emails we receive from the Oakville residents to praise the service provided by town staff. I want to share just a few of the examples that stand out. In April of this year, Oakville resident Lisa Shapiro wrote, "I've just spoken with Neil Gallant from the Clerk's Department and received the best customer service I've ever had when dealing with any government organization. Neil had expertly helped Ms. Shapiro navigate online information about civil wedding ceremonies that meant a lot to her." In another email, the Halton Police Services praised the quick thinking of parking operations staff member John Maddox when he located a missing person. Quote, "Quick action by the bylaw officer saved the police service countless hours of search time, thousands of dollars in equipment, resources, and essentially saved a life," the police said. This year, the staff at River Oaks Community Center also helped save a life. A resident suffered chest pains. The staff responded without hesitation. They provided CPR. They activated the defibrillator. And even though the man's heart stopped, the team revived him. You cannot put a value on this kind of service. Both service and value combined in another individual who passed this year in February. Councillor Fred Oliver made many contributions to our community for more than 50 years. Police chief, tow wharf founder, long-serving member of this council. Councillor Oliver's passion and love for the town of Oakville are very much still present in our continued ability to work together in this term of council. His place on town and region councils has now been taken by his longtime ward partner, Councillor Kathy Duddick, while new councillor Pam DeMoff serves Oakville from Councillor Duddick's former seat. As a council, we are individuals who know, as Coach Vince Lombardi said, individual commitment to a group effort, that is what makes a team work, a company work, a society work, a civilization work. We are on the right path for Oakville. We can be confident that our creativity and imagination will keep moving us closer to creating for Oakville our vision of becoming the most livable town in Canada. Thank you for your time and attention to my remarks. This.
Darius is here.
Nothing to it, right?
Yeah, there's no. Is that your book? Is that your book inside?
Yes. Thank you for the assist on that notebook catch. Thank you very much. Council, it's now my pleasure to introduce you to an individual who is here to make a big difference for our safety in our town. And I'd like to ask Inspector Ivan Lordy to stand up. Inspector Lordy is the new inspector for our district of the Halton Police Services. There is a police chief for the entire region, and each of the 3 districts has a superintendent. There's a district for Burlington, a district for Oakville, and a district for the north. The superintendent for Oakville is Marty Powers. Now, I like to think of him as the Oakville police chief, and Chief Crowell takes no offense at this. And that makes Inspector Lordy the deputy chief here. So thank you very much for being here tonight. And I hope that wasn't too much of a shaggy dog introduction. Council, you have before you in your agenda tonight the minutes of previous council meetings for September 19th, the special council meeting of September 26th, the regular session of council September 26th, and the confidential minutes of the closed session of council September 26th. How do you wish to proceed? Councillor Adams? Councillor Adams moves adoption of the minutes, seconded by Councillor Duddick. All in favor? Opposed, if any? The minutes are adopted. We have no delegations for this meeting, and we have before us now the standing committee reports from the 2011 Budget Committee of September 30th, which was distributed, the Community Services Committee meeting of September 27th, the Administrative Services Committee meeting of September 27th, and the confidential report of the closed session of the Administrative Services Committee from September 27th. How do you wish to proceed? Councillor Duddick? Councillor Duddick moves to adopt all of these reports, and I'm looking for a second.
Could I separate one item from ASC, please?
Yes, I have a second from Councillor Robinson and Councillor Adams.
Could I separate item 1 for the purpose of a recorded vote, please?
From
ASC?
Yes.
That would be the Halton Region Lobbyist Registry item.
All right. All right. Councillor Adams has asked for a recorded vote on item 1. I'll call that now. All those in favor of item 1, please stand to be identified to the clerk. Councillor Khan, Councillor Adams, Councillor Grant, Councillor Lapworth, Councillor Elgar, Mayor Burton, Councillor Giddings, Councillor DeMoff, Councillor Duddick, Councillor Robinson, and Councillor Johnston. Those opposed, please rise to be named. Councillor Knoll and Councillor Bird. Now take the vote on the rest of the motion. All in favor? Opposed, if any? The rest of the reports are adopted. Would a member and a seconder like to move us into committee of the whole? Councillor Johnston, Councillor Lapworth, all in favor? Opposed, if any? We are resolved into committee of the whole. We have no consent items on this evening's agenda, and you have before you the annual Oakville status report provided in your agenda, and the recommendation is that we need a motion to receive it. Councillor Duddick, thank you. All in favor? Opposed, if any? The report is received. The next item on our agenda is the quarterly report from Oakville Hydro. And after we've had the verbal presentation from the President and CEO of the Oakville Hydro Corporation, we will look to receive his report. I now welcome Rob Lister, the President and CEO of Oakville Hydro, to address us.
It's not good. Okay, I guess we have to use that one. This one's. Oh, okay. It's good. You want to just start it, right? Oh yeah, they're going to do that. Ken, can you put it on the projector, please? Yeah, there it is. Okay.
Great. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mayor Burton. Good evening, members of council. As part of keeping council up to date on Oakville Hydro, I provide quarterly presentations on current business activities and new initiatives. My update this evening focuses on time of use electricity pricing implementation, our new business activities, and Mike Brown is going to present some information on distribution system reliability and asset management. As presented at our annual general meeting in May, we have developed a new vision, mission, and organizational values for the organization. We energize you is our vision, and we provide your best energy and conservation solutions is our mission. We've also developed our strategic plan to embody 4 strategic imperatives: profit, service, people, and community. These strategic imperatives are driving our business planning for the upcoming years. We're excited with our new view and are integrating these leadership and guiding philosophies into our operations. We continue to be the 13th largest distribution company in Ontario by customer size with 64,004 customers. We reached the 64,000 mark just this September. Customer growth this year has slowed to 1.3% from the 1.7% we experienced in 2010. We're anticipating a customer increase of 850 by the end of 2011, which is 172 less customers than we had in 2010. From a customer electricity load perspective, on July 21st, Oakville Hydro experienced a new peak load of 380 megawatts, an increase of 7% over 2010. Financially, this year is progressing as planned, and we anticipate finishing off the year meeting our financial objectives. The warm summer has helped slightly, but not significantly. Last week, we had our ribbon-cutting ceremony for our new Glenorchy transformer station. A number of councillors were able to attend, and I'm very appreciative of your support. The station went into service on July 15th, 2011, with an electrical capacity of 170 MVA. On July 21st, just 6 days later, we had a heat wave in Oakville, and in order to balance the loads across Oakville, we had the new station loaded with 44 megawatts of power, which represents about 7,500 customers. This is one of the fastest transformer station constructions on record in the province, and we're very proud of the new station and its role in our distribution system. Time of use pricing implementation. Our implementation of time of use pricing using smart meters has been going well. 60,000 smart meters have now been installed, and the first time of use bills were issued in June. Our strategy on communications has been a three-tiered approach to create awareness, then increase the knowledge, and have the knowledge lead to behavior change. The main driver for the implementation of the time of use rates by the provincial government was to price electricity to better align with the variable costs of generating power depending on the time, day, and season. The smart meter technology and the time of use pricing allows customers to understand better their use of electricity, and influence the amount they pay depending on the time of use and the associated quantity. I am a firm believer that customers should leverage every opportunity to take control of their electricity bill. Time of use pricing helps us with this. Through newspaper ads, bill inserts, community events, and through our customer care call center, we are increasing the awareness and knowledge of time of use pricing and opportunities it provides. We will be continuing the communications programs for the rest of the year, and based on customer feedback, we'll be tailoring our communications in 2012. All to help customers further understand their bills and how they can manage their electricity consumption. Some interesting customer feedback indicates that over 70% of the customers understand the time of use concept, and 90% know that time of use is being used to calculate their electricity bills. Callers to our customer care center understand time of use and are inquiring about ways to shift their energy use and are seeking more information. We also receive feedback regarding the inconvenience of off-peak periods. A review of a small sample of customers with a summer billing period again indicates that time of use pricing in general has had minimal impact on the bills. Customers with less than the provincial average monthly consumption in the sample paid between 26 cents and $3.17 more per month. Customers with more than provincial average monthly consumption paid $4.87 more to $8 less per month. The overarching conclusion is that time of use rates are not having a significant impact on customers' electricity bills. Overall, I'm satisfied with the manner in which this program is proceeding, and the vast majority of our customers are embracing the new way of looking at the cost of electricity and how it impacts them. A few words about the progress of our new business strategy for Oakville Hydro Energy Services. Our strategy is to invest in energy-related businesses, develop community energy programs, and organically grow our existing business units. In generation, we continue to pursue solar, district energy, biogas, and biofuels, and are exploring investment opportunities. In Alcon, we're expanding our construction services to grow our customer base. And in energy services, we're developing eco-friendly home comfort bundles for our customers, including heat recovery, green electricity, solar or tankless water heaters, geothermal, and smart home technologies. We're also including the Golden Horseshoe Metering Systems suite metering solutions into these bundles for commercial and multi-residential customers. Business development activity is paying off as we're exploring viable investment opportunities. In power generation, we're exploring hydropower, biogas, and combined heat and power opportunities. We're exploring geo-exchange systems for a new housing development. The town solar roof is on track for a year-end completion, and we have a pole-mounted solar pilot program underway and have applied to the Ontario Power Authority for 2 megawatts of rooftop feed-in tariff contracts using town facilities. An algae-based biofuel technology is being investigated for green electricity production as well. And as mentioned earlier, we're developing an expanded portfolio of products and services that include the installation of telecommunications plant, high-efficiency HVAC sales installations, smart home solutions that include technologies like solar roof vent, tankless water heaters, and also we're investing in specialized equipment for utility construction work. We're aggressively pursuing growth opportunities in related energy businesses, and I'm looking forward to returning to Council with details on the success of this strategy. At this point, I'd like to ask Mike Brown, Vice President of Engineering and Operations, to present some information on distribution reliability and asset management at Oakville Hydro. Mike?
Thank you. Good evening. Thanks very much for the opportunity to present to Town Council tonight. I'd like to talk a little bit about system reliability as it pertains to Oakville Hydro. What you see in the chart in front of you are the 3 major indices, service quality indices that are used in the electrical services industry. We're compared against 12 utility peers across the province, and comparative size, typical would be Hydro One Brampton, there would be Horizon out of Hamilton, PowerStream, which would be Vaughan, Markham, and Barrie, Enwyn, which would be Windsor. So you can kind of get the sense that we're about the same size and size of customer base as well. The 3 indicators are SAIDI, System Interruption Duration Index. In 2010, we ranked 2nd out of 12. SAFE, which is a frequency index on interruption, we ranked 5th, and CAIDI, which is a customer interruption duration index, we ranked 6th. So comparatively, we've done very well in 2010. On the next chart, you'll see that we also compared very favorably to the Halton communities in 2010 as well. This year to date, to the end of August, and we just got the September results in, our system performance is actually ahead of 2010 results on all 3 service reliability indices. Here's just a reflection. In 2011, we did a customer satisfaction survey, a broad sweep survey of Oakville Hydro customers, and one of the components in that survey was a reflection on service quality, power quality and reliability. Oakville Hydro received an A+ rating on that particular score, and it compared quite favorably to the provincial average of A. Oakville Hydro also exceeds the National Index of Reliability. The Canadian Electricity Association, which is a national electricity group, we actually are above the average in that sector as well. The survey noted above is referring to the customer satisfaction survey. It said that customers indicating they had an outage in the last 12 months was 30% lower than the provincial and national average. So all of the indicators to date have indicated in our minds that one, the customer reflection is that service power quality and service performance is in a good state. The chart below highlights the comparative reliability performance from last year to the Halton Group, Oakville, Burlington, Milton, Halton Hills, plus you can see the Ontario and national results on those 3 major service indices. What I like to point out is the lower the number, the better the performance, just to give you a frame of reference of that. Around system reliability and asset management, I'll just a brief commentary. We're spending a tremendous amount of time on asset management. We're putting the touches on a comprehensive distribution asset management plan. As you know, the infrastructure in our industry is aging, and our ability to keep on top of it from a maintenance point of view, understand its current condition, and anticipate failures is a key key ability to ensure that we continue to perform and let the system perform at its highest level. We have a dedicated resource who's responsible for this plan. Some of the key tenets or components of that plan is it really looks at the overall status of the system. We have ongoing asset maintenance and inspection programs that are underway. That would be pole testing. We do overhead inspection using infrared as well as radio frequency. We're looking for hotspots in the system that may indicate potential areas for service failure. Our testing program polls, it's a multi-year program that we run throughout our whole distribution system, looking for pole decay and areas where substandard conditions may require replacement. We do annual testing, and that was some of the testing I just mentioned. We do analysis on the system. We take a look at some of our switch operations, at the number of switch operations that take place. We have 20 municipal substations in our system, and we inspect those on a monthly basis. And we've got a 3-year plan to assess all of the assets in our system, and that means going out physical inspection on all of these switches, transformers, a variety of substations, etc. We're documenting the state of that particular of each of their conditions, and we're using that to formulate our long-term asset renewal strategies. So it is a multi-year program. It's been underway for at least in its current format for at least 18 months, and is giving us a significant insight into the current state of the distribution system. That's pretty well it. Okay. Thank you very much. Any questions?
Thank you very much, Mike. Council, you seem to have quite a few questions. We'll start at the end with Councillor Khan.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your presentation, and I appreciate you providing us information on systems reliability and customer satisfaction. But I know that the board of Oakville Hydro is always also concerned, especially Chair Barquette has always been concerned about where we are with respect to employee safety and a number of injuries or accidents that happen. Can you comment on that at all?
Well, Councillor Khan, that's a great question, and it's a complementary thing. We're in an industry where safety is first and foremost in our minds. We have launched a Staying Alive safety program this year. Our performance on safety is at the upper echelon. Our view is that we can be even better, and we've had a pretty significant multi-year safety program launch. We had Rob Ellis, an Oakville resident, as part of that launch, and we have spent the full year focused on all the employees. And that's not just the operating employees, it's the inside workers as well. So performance-wise, I say that we actually have performed extremely well, but we want safety to be first and foremost in the minds of all our employees, both for the customers, the public, and our employees.
Councillor Elgar.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Mayor. I've had a few phone calls, and I turned them over to, said maybe they should contact Mr. Lister. It has to do with the technology in the smart meter, because it's wireless, and people are wondering about radiation from the wireless meters, which was kind of, I hadn't thought much about, and apparently there's a bit of an issue and discussion about it out west, and I just wonder, what is the technology, and is there an issue?
Councillor Elgar, there has been extensive studies done. I'm not familiar with any of the specific studies that were completed in Ontario, but I do know at the initiation of our program, these studies were actually put forward. So we've had, I think, 2 or 3 occasions similar to, I think, the cases that you may be referring to, where we've actually commented using that study data. So from my own understanding of it, there isn't anything of substantive nature that's out there due to the smart meters in the system.
So how does it relay back on this wireless system? Where was there a central point in Oakville?
Yes, what it is, the vendor technology that we're using, it's individual meters actually go back to a collector, which we call an aggregator. It's a gateway, and from there it's actually from wireless it goes into fiber technology, and it comes back into our system for record of meter reads. So it's wireless from the meter itself to, we have 4 collectors in Oakville Hydro's territory.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor. Could I have a motion to receive the report? Councillor Khan, thank you. All in favor? Opposed, if any? The motion carries. Thank you very much, Mr. Lister and Mr. Brown, for the very edifying report. We look forward to seeing you next quarter.
Great, thank you.
But you can come back anytime. All right, Council, I call your attention to the addendum item 1A, which is the ratification of the 2011 CAW contract for transit. And there is a confidential report associated with that. How would you like to proceed? I think we could test Councillor Adams.
I'll give you a motion to approve it.
Councillor Adams moves approval. Discussion of both of them. Yes, he's moving approval of all of it. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed, if any? It is adopted. I believe we now need a motion to rise and report. Councillor Johnston, thank you for that. All in favor? Opposed? It carries. I rise and report that Council has met and Committee of the Whole and made decisions on discussion items 1 and 2 and addendum 1A and C1A. And I need a mover and seconder for that report. Councillor Elgar and Councillor Grant, thank you for that. All in favor? Opposed? That report is adopted. Now, that means we can announce, although I think it's been widely announced, that we have settled an agreement with our transit workers union. And how much more do I need to say? That's it? Well, then I'm done on that one. You have your information items that have been circulated electronically to you, Council. You have your status of outstanding issues the same way. Is there new business? Thank you. Are there any regional reports or questions regarding town boards and advisory committees? Thank you. Are there any requests for reports? Thank you. Could I have a mover and seconder for consideration and reading of the bylaws? Councillor Khan, Councillor Elgar, thank you. This is authority for bylaws 2011-102, -105, and 116. All in favor? Opposed, if any? The bylaws are adopted. Thank you for your time and attention. We are adjourned.